This one is a good one, and I like it because it's very relevant. We're touching on Wyoming again, and it says, Wyoming traffic stop leads to 65 pounds of marijuana and 2 arrests. 2 men are facing felony drug charges following a traffic stop in Cheyenne. According to arrest records, 59-year-old Brooklyn, New York resident Earnest J. Johnnie was heading east on Interstate 80 around 3:30 yesterday afternoon on October 16th when Laramie County Deputy Garber stopped him near the Interstate 25 interchange for using 2 lane violations. The old lane violation. Listen, if you are trapping and you are driving on the freeway, followed our old Uncle Dale's rules. Do not break multiple traffic violations at one time. Do not break multiple laws at one time. If you switch lanes, use your blinker. Don't speed. Like these things are like, they're no brainers, but like I feel like this happens all the time. But anyway, so Garber said Johnnie replied that he was driving a rental car and that he was driving home. Wyoming Highway Patrol troopers arrive. They bring the K9. They call him on the scene, and guess what? K9 alerts to the car. Almost like, listen, those K9s are good. There's some news about them being not trained to detect cannabis anymore. That's awesome, but it looks like the ones in Wyoming still are. So Johnny's passenger was a 48-year-old man from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, named Gary Young, reportedly told the officers that he rented the car for Johnnie and he did the driving. Garber says from the sheer amount of marijuana and the large amount of cash, it was clear that the marijuana was destined for delivery. Johnnie and Young were both arrested and booked into the Laramie County Detention Center for possession of marijuana, conspiracy charges, sales of marijuana, and they were all felonies. As of late Tuesday morning, the two had yet to be formally charged or arraigned. They hadn't even got their court date yet, and they're still in jail. This sucks. But look, Wyoming, 65 pounds is going to land you 3 felonies in the jail up there. I had some partners that did some state time in Wyoming. It's a totally different setup. You're going to be like on a ranch. They're going to be working you. You're going to be like taking care of horses and stuff. If that's your thing, then that's cool. But it's not my thing. It shouldn't be anybody's thing in 2023 and 2024. Wyoming, you have to get it together over there. Stop arresting people for cannabis. But that's the news for the High at 9 today. Your local outlaw correspondent, Wednesday, hump day. What do the rest of my fellas think about this? And my lady.
This is bad.
Braid terps weed.
Hey, I see this as an opportunity for the other trappers out there to fill the vacuum the state's not going to fill. You got an opportunity. Somebody's missing out on 65 pounds to the market. Y'all know what to do.
You know what I'm surprised with all these stories. I mean, none of these trappers are doing things that trappers used to do back in the day to ensure a safe a safe arrival. So like as far as like having a caravan of cars, like 2 or 3 cars, so then that way you have a designated car that gets pulled over, you know what I'm saying, that does something stupid if law enforcement seems as though it's going to pull over another car. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And so we haven't been seeing any of these stories like that. And so I just have to imagine that people aren't doing this anymore or haven't thought of doing that. And therefore, since there's no decoy, the cops are just getting more and more busts. Yep.
Jason, that's great points made there. And I think this goes, man. There ain't no code no more either, man.
Yep.
This new generation of outlaw, the most stupid cats out there. They leave digital paper trails like everywhere. They just snitch on themselves, and they're just making the most boneheaded mistakes that I've ever seen. And some of these guys, they just deserve to be. Unfortunately, they deserve to be caught. And like I said,
I think it's kind of like Rico. I think it's what happens is like it's kind of like a byproduct of like all the good things that we do, right? Like I think cannabis has become like destigmatized to a certain point to where like the younger generation just feels like, listen, I can do whatever with this. Like I'm just throwing it in the back car. Like one of those last stories, they had like 200 pounds just in a Porsche, like just bagged up. They didn't even care to hide it. They were just rolling with that shit. So it's like, listen, these things, like Jay said, there was rules to the game that you had to follow. You had tail cars, you had your shit vacuum sealed, you had it underneath the spare tire. You like, I'm not gonna go into all the games.
I mean, even motorcycle gangs, Luke. Even motorcycle gangs, they'd run in a pack. You'd have like a pack of 30 of them, and like maybe 5 of them had stuff in their little duffel bags or whatnot. And as soon as the boys pull up, they all scatter and all go different directions, and there's no way for the law enforcement to figure out who has who or what, and
they skipping steps. They skipping steps, man. And I blame rap music. Ever since these rappers started buying their way into the gangs. Ain't nobody getting jumped in no more.
So you're saying we're blaming? So hold on. So are you saying that we're blaming Jada Pinkett for all this?
It definitely was Jada's fault.
Jada Pinkett Smith is Tupac. I said it here first.
Yeah, she was Tupac. Yes. Oh man.
Yes. Damn, you never actually saw them at the same place at the same time.
Yep. See what I'm saying?
It's like Michael and LaToya Jackson. You never seen them in the same room. Never. Think about it.
Trying to tell you guys. Oh man, that's interesting story.
On a separate note, while I was looking through the news this morning, I did come across an article. I believe it was coming out of Minnesota, maybe. They just brought in 9 new police dogs. All of them are not trained to detect cannabis.
Nice. Well, I mean, Minnesota.
That was exciting.
I mean, that's because they have all that hot hemp up there.
Are they still trained to attack black people?
Oh God.
Oh yeah, that didn't stop.